Hey guys, I am coming to you from Glen Ellen. It's 4:59 and I got my hair done. Yes, I've got some braids and this is my second time doing braids in life. I'm telling you the convenience. I am just like I'm not even okay, this is not about me, but it's like the convenience. So I'm going to be working tonight. I'll see you guys bright eyed and bushy tailed at the Sears Center, Hoffman Estates. You guys are pros. You know where it is, you know where the door is. So you guys just come straight in. The goal is to have you guys there around 4:30. If not, no worries. I know how to like plug and chug and move things along. The doors open at 6, so I need you guys there at least at 5:30, no later, so that I can give you guys the rundown. But if you can get there as early as possible, that would be great because I've got some contest winners that will be going to do a third inning. I almost said third round. Not inning. It's not an inning. Third quarter. I promise you, I love sports. Third quarter, they're gonna be a couple of K Love and Air One Text Club winners, and they're gonna be playing a dizzy bat game so that they can win. So all that to say, I will need to kind of step away in the earlier parts of setting up, but we're gonna have a standard indoor setup for K Love and Air One. With Air One, we have the three logos, or sorry, the three banners. I'm actually gonna take photos of these things so I can send you guys like what a setup looks like so that you guys can remember, oh yeah, that's what we do. And I'll do a video when I have more time and a teammate. um, and then Caleb, we're gonna have the what I call the erector or the pop up. We're gonna have that big pop up, and then the two banners on the side. We're gonna have two high top tables with those yoga pants, those white tight yoga pants, in front of Air One. And then for Caleb, we're just gonna have a 6 foot table and a white high boy, and that's gonna be our setup. Ladies, Air One, whoop, whoop. I don't know if I'm going to rep Air One or Caleb tomorrow. We'll see. And then I feel like I want to be with the ladies. I love you, Doug. I love you, Bob. But maybe Air One tomorrow. We'll see. And then Bob and Doug, you guys are Caleb. So our on-site contact is Jasmine and Sean. Just in case you have any questions, those are the good people that I'm going to be interacting with. We have announcements, logos, inclusion. You'll see or hear them repping our station as a sponsor. And then let's get into the nitty gritty of our engagement and our contesting. As you guys know and remember, engagement is what brings people to the booth. Contesting, it's like the added bonus. Like, hey, did you know that you have this opportunity here? So our engagement for K-Love is basketball buckets. It's literally 3 buckets sitting on top of each other. And that reminds me, I need to bring tape. So 3 buckets sitting on top of each other, and the goal is to throw the bean bag into one of the buckets. The top bucket gets a branded prize, and then the other 2 buckets will get candy, or the top bucket definitely is the only bucket that's going to get a prize. That's going to hopefully be the hardest because it's the smallest. And then maybe like a pen and then candy. So people can play. They'll get, I think there's 3 balls. Yeah, 3 balls. So they get 3 chances. If they make it the first time, that's it. You're done. You don't get to throw it 3 times. You get 3 prizes. And then we'll have a big bowl of candy. And then for Air One, we'll have spin the prize wheel. So spin to win is what it's going to be called. Spin to win. And that is going to be where you spin and you win something. Some is going to be candy. Some is going to be like a nice like giveaway. And we just have to, as you guys know, be mindful of the grabby hands. So that will be the fun game for both. And then at the booths for both stations, we'll have an opportunity for people to enter to win Windy City Bulls merchandise that is signed by, it should be all the players. If not all, it's most of them. And so that's going to grab people that are faith-based or non-faith-based. Like, hey, like we've got signed merchandise. Come on over and enter to win. No strings attached. We just want to give you free things. And then we'll be picking a winner more than likely because those type of games, like people aren't always on their phones. So I'll probably pull a winner when I get back to the office or on Monday, and then we'll notify them. To be honest, you can just say we'll pick a winner tonight. That's going to be the best language. And there's no deceitfulness in that. There's just the reality that some people will say, we'll mail it to you. And they're like, oh, we don't want you to have our address. It's like, that's not what we're about. But that's how sometimes secular events can be. So we'll just say we'll notify the winner tonight. And then common language, because we're at a secular event, we always just remember, Mary Ellen, you did a great job at this at Chris Tomlin. Obviously, those kind of P1 events, people know who we are, but sometimes they don't, or they don't really know the fullness of who we are. So K-Love and Air One, our sister stations, we're not owned by anyone. Our listeners are our supporters. So because we're commercial free, our listeners are the ones that support our organization. And we're contemporary Christian radio stations that play positive, encouraging messages for the family, for the kids, for anyone that's listening. And did you guys know that about 40% of our listeners would probably consider themselves non-church goers? So there's a lot of people that I run into, because obviously I connect with a lot of people that listen and they're like, I'm not really like a church goer, or maybe they're of the Catholic faith. And so, yeah, that can be things that you share and say. As you know, we're based in California. We have those listen up cards. Hey, you can listen up here and pass them the card. Our social media, you can see what we're doing in the community on the back. And then we also have some newsletters. Those are things that you have to promote. Those are things that are on the booth table, so that you can let them grab it at their desire and leisure. The only time that I would say like grab it and put it in their hands, if you really have a genuine curious person that's interested in learning more about the like depth of what we do, those newsletters I want to have at the booth on the table as often as possible, and say, hey, like here's a little bit more information, and that will put something in their hands. And especially someone that may ever get a little bit, I wouldn't say aggressive, but you're like, hey, like I get and understand that you can't capture all of who we are in this setting, but here's a newsletter that can share a little bit more and start the process of digging into what we do as a radio station. So that's that. They can enter at the iPads. We are working with a new platform for our iPad system. So it's not the same where they can hit that refresh button and it goes to the screen. I have to test it tomorrow, but I believe you have to X out and then pull up the screen again. So I will make sure that you guys know how to do that tomorrow. And then of course, especially with those kids and those teenagers that are like, I want to enter to win. They can text the word BULLS, BULLS, to the either numbers 21947 for K-Love and 38568 for Air One, and it enters. It actually gives them the form, which is like I always say it's like 3 boxes or 4 boxes, because people are like, oh, form. Just be like, it's a quick like name, email, zip code, and that's it. Just make sure that people are standing by you just to say, oh, don't forget like to respond to the text, because sometimes people just think that texting BULLS enters them in. It doesn't. It just gives them the form. So Catherine and Elizabeth, they are the ones that are our VIP ticket winners. So they're going to be sitting courtside, 2 and 2. So 4 of them total. They're different people. They don't know each other. We'll be sitting courtside at table 7, just in case they come up and I'm just not around. I just like to note that, because sometimes VIP winners pop in and say, thank you so much. So when that happens and I'm not around, or I am around, just say, hey, love to take a photo with you. And then we could potentially feature them by our booth. I will probably bring them like a towel so that they can kind of maybe wave it while they're at courtside. So I will have that for them. And I'll show you guys where that is. Awesome. I think that's bleh. I think that is it. It should be. It's 9 minutes. All right, guys. I love you. See you tomorrow.